Well, hi people, it's gothatfunk here, and this is a video response to Born Without Religion and her recent video, Marriage Belittles Love. Well, hiya, it's nice to meet you in video form. In your video, you mentioned that you often have the experience that you ask people how long they've been together, and rather than answering that question, they tell you how long they've been married. Well, perhaps it's a cultural thing, or perhaps it's just a coincidence, I don't know, but I have very much the opposite experience to that. You see, in my job, part of my job is to make people feel comfortable uh, with me so that I can do what I have to do. And in order to make people feel comfortable, you need to engage them in small talk. And one of the easiest and probably most expected questions I can ever ask someone is how long you've been together. Because I get couples all the time, you see. And anyways, much more often than not, when I ask a couple how long they've been together, they'll tell me A, how long they've been together, and then B, how long they've been married. That's so much more often the case than otherwise that I've been trying and I can't actually remember the last time someone told me how long they've been married without telling me how long they've been together first. So I do wonder if it's a cultural thing. In fact, I catch myself doing the same thing all the time. People ask me how long I was with my second missus. I say we were together for nearly 10 years, but we were only married for the last 3.5 of those. So that's my stock normal answer, and to me it seems really, really natural and normal to put it that way. So perhaps it's a cultural thing. I don't really know because I do live in a different part of the world to you. So there's that. On the broader question of whether or not marriage belittles love, I can imagine some people might look on such a statement with some kind of approbation. I'm not one of those people, though. I don't necessarily think marriage belittles love, but I certainly don't think, like, the common perception is that marriage exalts love. I don't agree with that. I don't think marriage exalts love at all. I don't think marriage proves your love. I don't think marriage proves your commitment. I think marriage is a good thing for people who want it and can make it happen and make it work. And for people who don't make it work, obviously it wasn't a good thing. So, you know, because the thing is marriage, people say, I'm acquainted with lots of couples who've been together for more than 20 years who have never been married. And they all say more or less the exact same thing. I don't need a slip of paper to prove that I love someone. And I definitely put myself in that same category. I don't need a slip of paper to prove my commitment to someone. Um, and I have to question the love of someone who feels a slip of paper increases their commitment or increases their love. So in that sense, maybe marriage belittles love a bit because it's almost like saying the love isn't real unless we get married, or it's not totally 100% unless we're married. That kind of thing. I can love you 99%, but unless we're married, it's not 100%. I'm oversimplifying to make the point, but I'm hopefully making it anyway. You see, because it's my personal opinion, based on 40 something years of observation, that yeah, if people are going to be committed, having a slip of paper isn't going to make them any more or less committed. And it works the same in reverse as well. If people are going to fool around on their partner or be irresponsible with their lifestyle in whatever way, which might end up being detrimental to a marriage, they're going to do that whether or not there's a slip of paper between them. Uh, just as an example, take Princess Diana. I mean, she had so much to risk as compared to your typical couple when she started fooling around on Prince Charles. And she had literally dozens of reporters following her everywhere, waiting for her to screw up. Yet she still took those risks. So people who are going to cheat are going to cheat. It doesn't matter how difficult it is for them to cheat, they're going to cheat. So getting married doesn't change that. And like I said, it won't make you any more committed if if you've got the kind of personality that's capable of making that kind of commitment. Getting married is incidental. It doesn't make it any better or worse. I say it doesn't make it any worse, but it can. I mean, when I was with my second girl, we were together for 6 years and a bit before we got married. And then when we got married, it wasn't the marriage that broke us up so much, but when we did break up, being married was a huge problem because, of course, the legal side of being married meant that we had a lot of issues to sort out, division of assets and so on, which would not have been anywhere near as complicated if we weren't married. So there's that. Now, obviously, as you might have surmised, in the end of your video, you ask if respondents were married. My answer obviously is no. I'm not married anymore. I've been married twice, and that was it. Um, you also ask in your video if we want to get married. Well, I ask customers in my shop this question all the time, typically young adults. And I'm always amazed when a young person who's not in a relationship answers that question affirmatively. And I will always give them a lecture about it because I say, how do you know you want to get married unless you actually know the person and you know you want to spend your life with the person? How do you know you want to get married? Because wanting to get married for the sake of getting married doesn't make any sense at all. Um, I can't say that I want to get married again because I don't have a girlfriend right now. I have no idea about the personality of the person I might get into my next committed relationship with and whether or not that's a commitment which seems like it might last or whether it's a commitment that just seems to be sort of temporary. You never know until you get there, sort of a thing. So I wouldn't rule marriage out, but I certainly wouldn't rule it in. Um, it's certainly not something I would seek to make happen. As far as I'm concerned, these types of things should be as spontaneous and organic as possible. Having said that, I would need some pretty bulletproof reasons to get married. Um, I don't necessarily want to get married, but I do want a lifetime commitment to someone. That's what I want. Whether or not we have a slip of paper which makes it official to the authorities, completely incidental. And if it made my partner feel better, I might enter into a marriage. But for me personally, I can't see that the slip of paper would make any difference whatsoever. Um, and it is, and I'm sorry, to people who think otherwise, but when I say marriage is just a slip of paper, it is. I'm not saying your marriage is just a slip of paper if you're married. Your marriage is your commitment. It's your life together. That's not a slip of paper. But the slip of paper becomes an entity of its own sometimes. I personally think that if you're going to be committed to someone for the rest of your life, you shouldn't really need that slip of paper. In fact, it almost, like Born Without Religion was saying, it kind of could be seen to belittle the love that you feel for someone if you think you need that slip of paper, or if you get any added security from that slip of paper, you should be questioning the love. That's just my opinion. Shoot me. Anyway, Scott That Funk, thank you, BWR, for asking such an interesting question. And I think I'm going to end it here. May all your ups and downs be ups.